Today, we delve into the spine-chilling tale of the Okiku Doll, one of Japan's most infamous haunted objects. A doll whose hair is said to grow on its own, seemingly possessed by the spirit of a young girl. The story begins in 1918, when a young boy named Eikichi Suzuki bought the doll for his sister, Okiku, while visiting Sapporo. The doll, dressed in a traditional kimono with long black hair, quickly became Okiku's favorite toy. She would carry it everywhere, even naming it after herself. However, tragedy struck when Okiku fell ill and passed away at the tender age of 3. Grief-stricken, the family placed the doll on a household altar in memory of their beloved daughter. That's when strange things began to happen. The family noticed that the doll's hair, which was originally cut to shoulder length, started growing longer, reaching down to its knees. They believed that Okiku's spirit had taken residence within the doll. Disturbed by these occurrences, the Suzuki family eventually moved, leaving the doll with the Manenji Temple in Hokkaido, where it remains to this day. The priests at the temple confirmed that the doll's hair continues to grow, and they even trim it regularly. Some tests have revealed that the hair is that of a human child, further deepening the mystery surrounding this haunted object. In 1981, a young woman named Yukiko, who was fascinated by Japanese folklore, decided to visit the Manenji Temple. She had heard the legends of the Okiku Doll and wanted to see it with her own eyes. Upon arriving, she was greeted by a kind monk who guided her to the room where the doll was kept. Yukiko described the room as cold. As she approached the glass case housing the doll, she felt a chill run down her spine. The doll's eyes seemed to follow her, and she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The monk explained the history of the doll and confirmed that the hair was indeed growing, even showing Yukiko the strands that had been recently trimmed. Despite her initial skepticism, Yukiko left the temple deeply unsettled, convinced that there was something otherworldly about the Okiku doll. She later recounted her experience to friends and family, describing how the doll's presence lingered with her for weeks after the visit. Another account comes from a visitor who claimed to have had an unsettling experience after taking a photograph of the Okiku doll. In 1994, a man named Hiroshi visited the Manenji Temple with his family. As a skeptic, he wanted to prove to his children that there was nothing to fear. He took several photos of the doll, but when he developed them later, one photo stood out. In the image, the doll's eyes appeared to be glowing faintly, and a strange mist seemed to swirl around its head. Hiroshi dismissed it as a photographic anomaly, but over the next few days he began to experience vivid nightmares. In his dreams, the doll would appear in his room, its hair growing longer each time, until it finally reached out and touched him. The nightmares were so disturbing that Hiroshi eventually returned to the temple to apologize to the doll and ask for forgiveness. He left an offering, and the nightmares ceased, but the experience left him shaken, and he never spoke of the incident again until many years later. One theory that has captivated many is the idea that the Okiku doll's hair growth is a manifestation of the deep, unresolved grief of the Suzuki family. In many cultures, hair is considered a powerful symbol, representing vitality and connection to life. Could it be that the intense sorrow of losing a child imbued the doll with a kind of life force, allowing the hair to grow as if it were a living being? Others believe that the doll's supernatural qualities may be linked to the ancient practice of spirit dolls, or ningyo, in Japan. Historically, these dolls were sometimes used in rituals to house spirits, either to honor them or to contain them. It's possible that the Okiku doll, through some unknown ritual or occurrence, became a vessel for the spirit of the deceased girl, her soul seeking comfort in the familiar toy. Interestingly, some scientists have attempted to debunk the supernatural elements of the Okiku doll's story. They suggest that the hair growth could be a natural phenomenon, explaining that human hair may continue to grow post-mortem, or that environmental factors in the temple could cause the doll's hair to appear longer over time. However, this explanation fails to account for the most chilling aspect, the fact that the hair has been tested and confirmed to be human, and that it grows despite the doll being an inanimate object. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the tale of the Okiku doll remains one of Japan's most enduring and unsettling ghost stories. The doll continues to reside at the Manenji Temple, drawing visitors from around the world who are curious to witness its mysterious hair growth. Is it the spirit of a little girl, unwilling to leave her favorite toy behind? Or is there a more logical explanation? The truth remains hidden, locked away in the dark eyes of the Okiku doll.